ever since we were born. We jumped over stuff, climbed on trees, tried to balance on pavement curbs. All of these things made us feel free. We didn't care what the society thinks of us. As kids, we were doing what felt good. Some went out and played football, others had fun in the park and climbed on trees. Everyone did something else. But at the end of the day, everyone did something that they enjoyed. But what about now? Do we all do something that we enjoy? Do we all do something that makes us feel free? No. Not everyone gets this chance. Society drives us. We stop at red, go at green, and follow rules that have been set by others. It was this that made me stop and look around. As a kid, I watched people. I watched what they do. They all did three things. They were either walking, sitting, or shopping. Everywhere I looked, they were walking, sitting, or shopping. Until I met this person that wasn't walking, sitting, or shopping. He was moving. He was moving in a way I never seen before. I asked him what he was doing, and he said, parkour. I asked him why. Why is he doing it? And how did he start? He replied with a very simple but strong answer. I never stopped. So I started to train. I wanted to know what is involved in parkour. I needed to overcome my fears and learn everything myself. All the jumps and walls. Eventually, I learned how to overcome my fears. How to make that jump that I couldn't do. All the jumps and all the tricks that we do are quite easy. It's the fear that makes us think and stop. Parkour is not just jumping on walls and doing tricks. It's a lot more than that. It's a way of life. I started seeing things differently. I don't just see a wall anymore, I see a path. I see a playground. The whole world is our playground. There are walls, fences and rails everywhere. But they are there to manage people. They are there to make us walk in a certain way. They are there to make us stop and go around. Parkour is not just sport and a great way to keep fit. Parkour taught me something that means a lot to me now. Parkour taught me if I believe in myself that I can do that jump, I will do it. And same applies in life. If I know I can do that job and accomplish the task, I will accomplish it. And nothing can stop me. Not even a wall, fence or a rail. After a few years of training, I started meeting new people. I started attending jams in Nottingham, Derby and Leicester. We planned big meetings called jams. We usually planned jams when someone had a birthday or when there was nice weather and we could all train together as a big group. I've met many people. One of us even made it to the Red Bull Arts of Motion in Santorini. And some of the people I met are athletes at the street media. I managed to get in contact with a few of the people I used to train with. I got in contact with the street media athletes and we planned a small jam in Derby. So I took a small trip. We didn't have the best weather, but I managed to get into Derby Gymnastics Centre when it started to rain. This is the place where most of the freerunners come and learn new tricks. It is a great place to come and train with all the equipment they have. Damien Voltis, the director for the club and also a former world-class performance international gymnast, ranked 5th in the world. Damien has progressed from gymnastics to become a world-renowned stunt performer and has featured in many Hollywood films. We can all thank him for his amazing gym. Throughout the filming, I met new people in Leicester and I managed to meet them while they were training. I have met Daniel Timms, who was also kind enough to do a small interview with me.
My name's Dan Timms.
How long have you been doing parkour for?
I've been doing parkour for 10 years now.
10 years?
2005.
Alright. So what made you start then?
I saw a documentary on Channel 4 called Jump Britain. I watched it and immediately thought this is something I want to try and fell in love with it from there.
Is there some particular moment that you always remember?
From training parkour?
Yeah, from training parkour.
Doing my first muscle up.
Doing your first muscle up?
Yeah, I was really happy for that moment. There have been so many. I think the great thing about parkour is you're always testing your limits, you're always finding something that you can't do, and then you train your body to do it. And I think there are just too many individual moments, really. Every training session, it's nice to have some goals, some small goals, and achieve those.
That's awesome. You ever had any injuries, maybe?
I've had one or two, though the injury rate is really low. I think I've had 2 semi-serious injuries over 10 years, which isn't too bad. I'd like it to be 0, but unfortunately accidents happen.
What happened?
When I'd been training for about a year, I fell a long way down a drop that I didn't know was there. I should have been more careful, and I broke my right femur into 2 halves, and now I've got a metal rod all the way down my right thigh bone, which is in there for life.
So you're more like a bionic now?
Yeah, a little bit like Wolverine, a little bit bionic, yeah.
Nice. What makes you keep going and keep doing what you love?
I like to keep training because I feel I've got more to get out of it still. I'm getting stronger, I'm getting faster, I'm getting more confident. I really like the multitude of positive benefits that parkour has. Plus, now I'm a professional coach as well. I feel that I've got a lot left to give to new generations of chasseurs, and I really love working with them to help them go through the same barriers and achieve the same goals that I've achieved, and hopefully I'll be able to help them progress beyond where I am now as well.
Did parkour give you anything more than just physical strength or something like that?
Yeah, I think it gives you mental fortitude as well. You become a stronger person, you become more confident in yourself. You're used to facing adversity every time you train, and so you can kind of apply that to the rest of your life by knowing that you can handle yourself in a difficult situation. In parkour, it kind of reflects on your everyday activities too. People always say, oh yeah, it sounds like people are gassing, it sounds made up, but it is true. You learn to know yourself. You learn how you'll react in a difficult situation, and most people, living their lives at the moment, they won't know. They have to wait until a difficult situation happens. You don't want it to happen to someone, but they have to wait for it to happen then in that moment, because they're not used to it. They don't know how they'll react. So it's almost like training for the worst when you practice parkour, and you know that some people might get scared and they'll learn to deal with that in parkour. Some people are naturally confident and they know that they'll be fine, but either way it helps you to know your body and know how you react in a difficult situation.
So tell me a bit more about Jump and what do you guys do?
Okay, so originally we started as Leicester Parkour Association, and we started teaching 1 class a week, just trying to spread the kind of correct message of parkour and helping people train properly. And it kind of grew and grew. We started getting work outside of Leicester, and we created Jump Parkour, which operates all over the Midlands. We're teaching basically every day of the week now. We've got an ever-growing team, and we're looking to build on that. And we're looking to help people kind of take their parkour and maybe use it as more of a career if they want to do that, help them become coaches, because the barrier to entry is quite high. We've been on that journey and it's difficult, so we're trying to make it easier for other people who want to do it, and also enable good practitioners and good coaches to be able to get something back from their parkour practice who otherwise might not have been able to. So it's just about good representation of parkour and helping others to get what they want out of it too. Plus training the new generation, which I absolutely love doing. It's every time I go and teach, it's always a pleasure. I love seeing people push their limits and get stronger and more confident week by week. It's a fantastic feeling.
I have met a lot more people from Leicester. Nick Jones, Jess Lishman, Gregor McQuade, and Chris Harding.
My name's Chris.
How long have you been doing parkour for?
About 8 years now.
8 years?
Yeah.
Alright, so
8 years.
what made you start?
You know what, I started because my friend's brother was doing it and I just thought that's something I really want to do. I have a mixed martial arts background and I thought that's something that I could adapt to, you know, with body and movement and strength and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
So yeah.
Is there anything else you do outside parkour?
I used to do mixed martial arts. I just felt like that got a bit too repetitive. So now I've took up cycling. I'm getting quite into that, so road cycling.
Road cycling. Is there some particular moment that you always will remember from your parkour?
Good or bad?
Both, really.
One particular moment. Well, one particular moment I will always remember is the one time I messed up and I fell backwards off a roof onto my back, and that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. And it's messed my arm up, it's messed my back up, but you know, that's the only time I've messed up properly. Good moments though. There's quite a few, there's too many to name. Parkour is one of these things where you achieve lots of different things, and every time it's just the same feeling of achievement, you know.
Did parkour give you anything more than just physical strength or...
Oh yeah, it gives you mental strength. I mean, I'd say at least 50% of parkour is mental. I mean, there's the conditioning, which is very important, but then you've got the mental attitude that you've got to have. You've got to be positive, you've got to overcome mental obstacles as well as the physical ones. I mean, if you think you can't jump a certain distance, you've got to kind of train your brain to say you can do that, you are capable of doing that. And only then will you be able to do it comfortably, you know?
And the same applies in life, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, parkour gives you this alternative way of looking at things outside the box, kind of finding different, more efficient ways of doing things, I mean, in your day-to-day life, like work, for example.
What do you think about the society? Do you think it drives us and that everyone is going in the way they're supposed to be going?
I mean,
and do you think that parkour gives you a different way of looking at things?
Yeah, parkour definitely gives you a different way of looking at things. What was the first question, sorry, the society?
What do you think about the society? Do you think it drives us?
I mean, parkour is one of these things where lots of different people from all over the world can come together and have something in common, you know? And I think that kind of special relationship you have with other practitioners is something that actually can drive you forward and does drive you forward. I think the community is a very important part of parkour. Going out and training and meeting new people, travelling to different places. So yeah, I think the community is something that's very important, a very important part of parkour.
What makes you feel free?
What makes me feel free? It's a tough question. Being able to move where I want to move, you know, not being told where I have to go. Not having a fence in front of me and being told I have to walk around it when I can just easily go over it in half the time, you know, that kind of thing. I don't like, I guess it's kind of an issue with authority in a way. I don't like being told I can't go somewhere and do something in the way I want to do it, move how I want to move, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
I've also managed to get in contact with few of the guys from Nottingham. I have met few of my old friends such as Kieran Newbold and Zaid Cullinan. We have chatted around Nottingham the whole day. After many years of training parkour, I found out that parkour is not just about the physical strength or the sport. People don't just do it for the physical side of it. I have met many people that started because they wanted to see what it is, and now they can't stop doing it. Because it has gave them a lot more than just physical strength, it has given them the power of movement. Parkour taught us how to look at things from different perspectives. Everything has more than two uses. The rail fence is not just there to make you walk around it, it's also there for people like us to train or play with it. Throughout this filming, I found out that parkour really gives you more than just the physical strength. I have met people that were scared to jump from a wall to a wall because there was this mind barrier. Even though this person knew that he could do the jump, he was still scared to do it, and this is what parkour teaches you. It gets rid of this mind barrier. If you know you can do that jump, you will do it. This doesn't come in days, weeks or months. This comes in years of training. Not every wall is the same. Not every jump is the same. Not every job is the same. But you know you can do it. And if you believe in yourself, you will do it.
The greatest form of control is where you think you're free when you're being fundamentally manipulated and dictated to. One form of dictatorship is being in a prison cell and you can see the bars and touch it. The other one is sitting in a prison cell but you can't see the bar, you think you're free.
So what about you? Do you wake up every day and do the same thing? Do you follow all the rules that have been set by others? Or do you do something that makes you stand out from the crowd? Or are you just the same as everybody else? The biggest question here is, what makes you feel free?